Can we do a track together?
I know you smell the perfume, the makeup on his shirt.
You love to sing.
It was therapy. I was talking to my wife one day in terms of just, no longer being alive. Somebody had sent me his story, and I'm like, why is somebody sending me Drake's story, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw me, and I was like, whoa. Then that brought the realization that, oh shoot, I just told her yesterday that if she ever needs Drake, she would shoot her shot.
People were in your comments saying this is why the bus is late with that negativity.
That, and then saying just shut up and drive.
You're on Canada's Got Talent.
I can't talk much about it, obviously, but
what message do you have for people?
I thought what would make me look weak by talking about it was the complete opposite. I can never leave my kids. They're the ones that save me a lot of the time too. I think if I had held it in, it wouldn't have been this positive outcome.
Have you guys seen the viral TTC bus driver?
7 o'clock on the dot, I'm at the bus stop, ready to leave.
His name is Jonathan Pooley, and he has captured the hearts of Torontonians right across the city and people right across this country. So today, we're gonna speak with the viral sensation that is the TTC bus driver. You're watching The BG Show. Is this John?
It is. How you doing?
I don't have a fare, man. Come on the bus for free though.
This time it's okay.
How's it going?
Good, how you doing? Good to meet
Good to
you.
finally meet you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Come on over here. Let's
go.
chat. So John, you love to sing.
It's been a passion of mine for since as long as I can remember.
So what made you come up with the idea of, picking up that phone and giving us renditions of Let Me Love You?
It was therapy. So I wasn't feeling like myself, and I was talking to my wife one day, and I just explained to her some thoughts that I was having that I never would ever think that I would have in terms of just no longer being alive. She convinced me to go to therapy, and I took some time off of work, and I learned a lot of coping mechanisms and kind of the root cause of a lot of the things that were making me feel sad and down about myself. And one of them was kind of like I didn't feel like I had a uniqueness outside of being a father and a husband.
Yeah.
That I was just if I was gone, that was it. I was gone. They would care, which would suck, but I made no impact on the world, or I'd have no impact on the world. A couple of days before, my therapist asked me, she's like, what are you going to do differently when you go back to work? She's like, otherwise you're going to be right back to where you started. And she's like, you have to find out what makes you happy, the things that you're passionate about, and you have to incorporate them in your everyday life. And that's such a simple, mechanism, but when you get foggy, you don't see it. So the day before I was coming back to work, I was doing the dishes, and it was 7 o'clock on my oven.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, and I was just, for me, I grew up in like the, that era of music, the slow jams, R&B and stuff. So I saw the 7 o'clock, and I was like, it's 7 o'clock on the dot. And then I was like, I gotta go back to work tomorrow. I'm like, I'm at the bus stop, ready to leave. And then I was like, ooh, that was kind of flows. And then I was just using that to kind of, get my mind creative. Mm-hmm. And then I went through the whole thing. I was like, it's kind of creative. I kind of, patted myself on the back. And then the second day back to work, I had some time and there was nobody around, and I wasn't even the next bus. And I said, I'm just going to throw it up there because I was pretty proud of myself.
Yeah.
And I threw it up on my personal socials, and people seemed to like it. And I am somebody that does like attention, so I threw it up on my TikTok, and the response was very quick. But I don't think it was anything that I was used to, or people were used to as well. So they didn't really know how to react. So I took it down about 2 hours later.
You took it down?
I did. It got, I think, 10,000 views in the first 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I took it down because I got a lot of them. This is why the bus is late. This is just shut up and drive, or those things.
People were in your comments saying this is why the bus is late with that negativity.
That, and then saying just shut up and drive.
They were saying shut up and drive?
Yeah, shut up and drive. But then nobody was saying, oh, this guy sucks. Or this guy, I didn't get that trash symbol, or none of that stuff, right? So the trash emoji. So I was like, okay, I'm okay with that kind of, but then I didn't know how to handle it. My wife was like, listen, if you can't handle that, don't post anything.
Right.
I put it back up, and then through there I did a couple more, which people seemed to really enjoy as well. And then I sang a Drake song. That was a cover I did.
Yeah.
Because I found out that the jungle is like Lawrence West.
Yeah.
And one of the buses that I do drives like through that area. Yeah. So I did the Drake one, and that's when the whole Drake thing happened. And then from there, it's just been, whatever comes to my mind, or if I'm ever having a bad day, I'll post it. Or if I'm like, hey, I sound good singing this, I'll put it.
Yeah.
Or if an idea clicks in my head, then I'll go through it, like the mistletoe, right?
Yeah.
That just came with one line, which was, I don't want to miss it on the holiday, but I got to get everyone home safe. And then I was like, let's see if I can do something with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have another one that I've posted before that's like, it goes like, I don't want to know if you paid your fare, keep it on the low, right? So
I think the mayor would care.
It's the most beautiful time of the year. Find me on the bus spreading so much cheer. I should be playing with my kids, I know, but I'll be out driving for Toronto.
You even starting this really was a way to save your mental health.
whatever it is that I needed, it gave me that, aside from, being a superhero to my kids and, an amazing partner to my wife.
Well, I'm just happy that you're opening up about that, because I think a lot of people, a lot of us, we go through moments of feeling really down, whether that's full depression, seasonal depression, or just questioning why we're meant to be here in life. And you went through that process.
Yeah, and like I grew up in an era where there was no such thing as mental health.
Especially for men.
One of the realizations was when I was off work, I came back here. And people were asking me, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, like everything okay? And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then I was thinking to myself, like, if I had a broken leg,
Yeah.
I would be like, yeah, I broke my leg. But when it's mental, everyone's just like, yeah, I'm okay. And I was like, you know what? So I told a few people here, I said, you know what? I lost my mind a bit.
Yeah.
I needed some time off to get myself good again. And the response I got from them was, me too, right? A lot of like, I've been feeling the same way. What did you do? Who did you talk to?
And what was the reaction like?
I had people that I thought that I would see on social media that I thought had the perfect life were messaging me and said, I've known some dark days. Thank you so much for doing this. And like, I even said to my wife before I posted it, I said, should I do this? She's like, do it. Because people like, you never know.
When I first saw you, I thought about, this is so refreshing to see somebody, a part of the TTC, make you feel good. Because a lot of times, you take the TTC, yeah, there can be delays that are out of your control. There can be situations that happen on the bus out of your control. But like to have somebody who's operating the bus make you feel good, to have the TTC make you feel good in a city that, there's a lot of things where you can feel bad. That's refreshing.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about it from that aspect, right? So personally, it gave me the thought that, maybe if I had to pursue music, I had a shot. Not to say that it's the other layer, I guess, of this is that it's kind of never too late.
It
right?
is never too late. I mean, you've got the attention of Drake.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
So we're big Drake fans.
Yeah.
My wife, more so. She's like a Drake lover in a very respectful way.
Yeah.
Right, but
Would that be her hall pass?
Yeah, and that's right. So that's the thing, right? So funny enough, I don't have a hall pass. Okay. I did, right? And but the thing is, it's like I don't have a list because the stuff that my wife. Larry.
Okay.
The stuff that my wife has kind of done for me, right? Like, there's not anybody that could ever replace that, right? Like, even with when I told her that I was having thoughts on being alive, I remember going up, because like that night we had the kids, to bed early. We had some wine, we had Netflix, and it was going to be an adult night, and I was very excited. And my opening line was, I've been having thoughts no longer being alive. And I remember I went up to bed, and I was like, why did I say that to her? She's going to think I'm not a man. She's going to leave me. She's going to be all these things. She's going to think I'm weak. And it was like the complete opposite, which was the biggest thing. And like, she made me feel like I was 1,000,000 feet tall. And then just like, her having to deal with, like, even still when I do this stuff, like, she still has to go home and deal with the insecurities of, because sometimes it doesn't happen as much. But sometimes these things, they hurt, or I get too deep into my thoughts and my own insecurities and stuff. So that's why I don't have a list, and I'm okay with that. She has a list, and Drake is number one. No offense to my boy Drake, but I was like, Drake would never do that. You know what I mean? I was like, in the cover of my home, I had to shut it down. But then she's like, okay, well, if you're so confident, if I ever meet him, can I shoot my shot? And in my mind, I'm like, we're never gonna meet Drake.
Yeah. And
Right?
this is before he had posted.
This was before. I know people in his camp and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and friends of his, and people that support me now as
Yeah.
well too. But I said, you know what, babe, sure. If you ever meet Drake, shoot your shot, go
Yeah.
right ahead. I'll hold the ball for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so then that's when I found out that Jungle was in Lawrence West,
Yeah.
and that song had slipped out of my radar.
Forget what they're talking about on your timeline. That's cutting all into my time with you.
I learned the song, and then I learned about the whole Lawrence West thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I wonder if Drake ever, wrote the TTC, and
Yeah.
he wrote that song. That's why he wrote that song, because he was
Yeah.
on the TTC, whatever. And I was like, but I'm going to show my wife she doesn't need Drake.
Mhm.
I'll sing Drake's song, and now she's got Drake. No offense to Drake again, but then she's like, you know what? She doesn't need him. She's got me, whatever. And I did that, and I posted it, and it's a phenomenal song. I don't think I sang it that well, but I think that it was just like the whole mechanisms of everything.
Mhm.
TTC, Drake song, Jungle,
Yeah.
Lawrence West, 52. And the next day, I got somebody had sent me his story, and I'm like, why is somebody sending me Drake's story, right?
Yeah.
And then I saw me, and I was like, whoa, this has to be a trick,
Yeah.
right? Because I was at work, I was doing
Yeah.
Finch,
Yeah.
and I think he knows the impact of him doing something like that would have on one person, and he did that for me.
How did that
Right?
change your life?
The amount of just support and excitement from people that didn't even know me, that he had done that too was very eye-opening, because people are extremely supportive. Then that brought the realization that, oh shoot, I just told her yesterday that if she ever meets Drake, she can shoot her shot. And I think Drake got wind of that somehow and realized what I was trying to do and said, hey bro, just so you know, his spidey senses went off, and he was like, and it was kind of like a benefit for me, but then also saying, hey bro, just so you know, I'm Drizzy Drake.
Yeah.
I have this power too.
Yeah.
I'm just a driver, waiting for the riders.
But the R&B influence, so your parents used to play R&B, or did you just watch a lot of BET? What was it?
I watched a lot of BET,
Yeah.
Freestyle Friday.
I knew it was the BET.
Yeah, 106 in Park.
Yeah.
But my mom is my whole family's involved in music. My mom, we would listen to Motown. So before
Motown.
So before bedtime, we come in and we had the Discman with the split thing. So I'd have one earpiece in and she'd have one piece, and we would sing, Jackson 5, and we'd sing Stevie Wonder songs in the key of life, some of the songs off of that.
And you grew up in Toronto?
I grew up in Brampton. I grew up in government housing, and I grew up around a lot of people that realized that I was a singer, right? And they would respect that. So a lot of stuff that was happening around me was, stuff that could have put me on a different path. Yeah. But I was kind of known as this guy who likes to sing.
Yeah, you had a talent.
Right, yeah. So that's why I was never really, I think I tried to be a gangster for a week. It didn't work out, right? Because I'm I'm not about this life. One of the other things is I was raised, I talk about here, is pretty much by the Black community. Yeah. Right? So, my mom was around, I'm not saying that, but when I left my house, I always say Jamaican mothers are mothers, regardless of who who their son is, right? You can always
They're
go
mothers
there,
for their community,
and you get fed, and but you get beat if you do something wrong.
And I'm sure you got a few beatings.
I got a few lashings, right? And I remember, I grew up around that influence as well too. So I had R&B, the Motown, rap, all that stuff.
Reggae, dancehall.
I used to go to the dancehall sound clashes, right, with all my friends.
So you were banging up on the HVACs.
I wasn't that
Or you getting a bubble?
My wife is probably going to watch this. So for the sanctity of my marriage, but I'm sure she probably bubbled as well too. But we went to basement parties and all those things, and I had that influence, and it was such a great time, and I learned a lot of things.
Let's go, Canada.
I love that you're really leaning into your passion because you're on Canada's Got Talent.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
I auditioned for that. I can't talk much about it, obviously, but it will be airing on March 25th, right, at 8 p.m. And I auditioned, and it'll be fun for everybody to watch. Yeah.
Do you win the entire thing? Can we get the exclusive?
I'll get sued. Even if that was the case, I would probably lose every last bit of money. But what I can say is that I never thought I would get the opportunity to audition for Canada's Got Talent. Like I said, I thought that it was something that was gone for me, and I had no intention of doing it. But then with all this, it was a real eye-opener.
Do you have a dream collab?
I was singing to Brandon that I wouldn't mind trying to get on Drake's new album. I think he's dropping some stuff.
Yeah,
He made a post that seemed like he was dropping some music.
Listen, we can put that out into the ethos. Let's put it out into the atmosphere.
Right.
Atmosphere, Drizzy.
Yeah.
New music. What a beautiful Toronto connection this would be.
Right, there you go.
I would love to ask you though, John, you know, what message do you have for people who are stuck in a place of depression and are trying to find their way out of it, like you have?
I think just talking to somebody, whether it's professional, if it's a friend, and if it's a real friend, they'll listen and they won't just brush it off. I thought what would make me look weak by talking about it was the complete opposite. Keeping it bottled inside, you're gonna realize and I guess in my experience as well, that there are far more people dealing with the same stuff that you are than you actually think. I can go to so many people now that I didn't know before with, things that are on my brain. And then on the flip side of that is people come to me. And I never thought I would get to that point ever in my life, because I've had people that have actually decided that not being here was the path that they wanted to take, and they were phenomenal individuals. And when I got there, I was scared, right? And I could never leave I could never leave my kids, right? Because they need their father, and they're the ones that saved me a lot of the time too. And but yeah, I think if I had held it in, it wouldn't have been this positive outcome.
Thank you so much, John. I'm gonna give you a hug.
Yeah. Now I heard that you wanted to sing.
Who told you that? Producer Hope.
Hope said that you had a pretty good voice, so what do you say?
Can we do a track together?
Baby, I just don't get it. Do you enjoy being hurt? I know you smell the perfume, the makeup on his shirt.
You don't believe his story. You know that there are lies. Bad as you are, you stick around, and I just don't know why.
If I was your man,
baby, you
never worry about
what I do.
I'll be coming home
back to you
every night,
doing you right.
You're the type of woman
deserve good things.
Fist full of diamonds,
hands full of rings.
Baby, you're a star.
I just wanna show you you are.
You take it away then. That's all you, man.
No, I did too much. That's
okay. No, that was just enough.
Like, how do you? Thanks for watching, everybody. Hey, it's BG, and I want to know, what do you think about what you just watched? Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below, but also make sure to check out even more great content like this video and this video over here. And if you haven't subscribed to the Gonez Show, do so right now by clicking this button right here.